Bad story, and we got some good cop speak from this as well. A 48-year-old school superintendent, Jason Thompson. He's in Baldwinsville, New York, and he is the superintendent of schools. He was at a high school football game supporting the teams in his district. Unfortunately, he had done some drinking before he went to the high school football game and started crowd surfing. The students were passing him from person to person throughout the crowd. And then later he got in the car and started driving away from the high school football game. And the students actually called 911 and said, our superintendent is faced and he's driving.
Yeah, we could feel the fireball in his pocket.
How old is this guy?
What a bunch of narcs.
He's 48, but he wanted to relive his youth, apparently. And the police officer said, he was almost double the legal limit.
During that game, the superintendent of schools was observed crowd surfing amongst the students in the student section of the bleachers. Following that, several students came forward to school officials and reported that the superintendent smelled like alcohol.
That's correct.
Solid cop speak.
It's good.
Solid B plus work there.
Well, we've got a little more of him, actually.
The superintendent was cooperative with the officers. He did admit that he had been drinking. At the traffic stop, he indicated that he had one beer. Back here at the police department, when asked how much he'd had to drink, he replied, too much. His blood alcohol level was 0.15%. The legal limit in New York State for driving while intoxicated is 0.08%.
I knew it, but he just said...
The old classic Dodge, one beer.
Yep, right. And then he said he just got caught up in the moment. The students were passing him around.
What do they do with him? They fire
So
him?
he always used, I think he's
They fired him, maybe they give him the opportunity to resign.
It sounds like such a cliche, but I think I may have told you this. This is 25 years ago. I had dinner at a friend's house. And the dinner went long, and I literally had a glass of wine with dinner. And on my way home, I went through a police checkpoint. And they said, have you had anything to drink? And I said, I had a glass of wine with dinner. Oh. So they made me do all the touch the nose, walk the line and all that. And they said, you're fine. But, I mean, for a moment, I was terrified.
And then no time.
But it sounds like the oldest Dodge in the book. Every drunk says the same thing.
Exactly.
I had a beer.
Oprah has a zero drink policy. When Oprah's out, she never lets alcohol pass her lips.
She's strong.
If she's driving, she will not. Now, she hasn't driven in 36 years, but...
So she's faced every weekend?
She will not drive. She says
The last car she drove was Volkswagen Rabbit.
Correct. Before she was famous.
She was famous.
But she made the policy.
Does she go out?
Well,
Or is she like Martha Stewart? People just come to her.
Well, they close everything for her if she goes out, and somebody drives her. But she says, if I'm ever going to drive myself, I'm not going to drink.
She's brilliant.
She
We need
is.
more Oprahs.
Two ugly Halloween stories. 4 daycare workers in northeast Mississippi are out of a job after they tried to make little kids in their daycare behave by wearing a Halloween scream mask and scaring them to death. If you've seen this video, it's disturbing. They go up to these 3, 4, and 5-year-old children with a scream mask on.
In their face.
Are you being bad? You want me to take you outside?
Parents were disturbed by the images.
Good God. Bloody murder.
That's legit. That's childhood terror.
And these kids, they're not 14. They're 3.
No.
I love this.
Oh, my God.
What are they thinking?
What in
The
world?
visuals are just surreal.
They really are. And it's got that ghost face.
And they're inches from these
their face.
tiny kids' faces.
Being bad.
Do you want me to take you outside?
They've probably been driven right to the edge. I'm sure they're so mad at these kids for being holy terrors.
Oh, absolutely.
They just scared the crap out of them.
Show you.
And people are commenting, this is not scaring. This is torture. This is tormenting. This
Who
is
recorded it?
wrong at every.
One of the other teachers?
I know, that's another question. How'd that
Sure
get
they
out?
did.
How did that get out?
3-year-olds got phones?
No, they don't.
You want me to take you outside?
Oh, my God.
Good Lord.
It's not too late for those teachers You say they're out of a job.
Yeah, all
Gotta
for it.
be.
Yeah,
It's not too late for them to get work at a local haunted house in
That's right, Northeast Mississippi. If
They've
they're
got
hiring.
the gift.
The woman who wore the mask posted an apology video. She was teary-eyed, and she said there was never any ill intention. We were just trying to
I'm sure
Correct.
she believes it.
Yeah.
correct some behavior.
Thank God for cell phones.
My question was the same thing. Who let this video out? If I was one of the other teachers, I'd be like, don't show anybody.
Has to be
this.
another teacher.
Don't. It has to be. It has to be. And they put it out there, and so everybody's seen this video now.
If you're taking your kids to a modern daycare, do they have cameras that you can access through your phone?
Some do.
That's
So you can-
possible.
I bet
That's
you
possible.
can watch your child.
Absolutely.
That may be the case. In some, you'd think that
I
would
bet
be
they do.
with technology now.
In Northeast Mississippi, maybe not.
Maybe not.
Doggy daycare's
You know
got
what? I'll tell you what I heard somebody, doggy daycare. My sister-in-law made sure, because they like to talk to their dog. Yeah, you can talk to them.
Can you talk to them? I thought you could just watch them roam around the room and stuff.
They needed all that, and they wanted to talk to their dog when they left it because it gets...
It's like a people want that now. A lot of people will not go to doggy
their dog
daycare
has separation anxiety.
unless
But if you're telling
the
me
camera's not going to help.
that the technology is better for dogs
Well, right.
than toddlers in Mississippi,
Well, let me tell you what about my dog. My wife, when she picks up our daughter from school, and we carpool, so she does this 2 or 3 days a week, and she takes and picks up. Well, the dog always gets to go with. Okay,
where's the dog sit? Mommy's lap?
sometimes the dog has free range of the car.
Nice.
Well, I said dangerous. I said, I told my wife, I was like,
It's a hazard,
It's a
potential.
hazard. I said, if you do even have a bump up, the dogs can go flying, and that's going to just crush the whole family.
Dogs fly.
Of course. And I mean, I've read that before, that dogs can cause accidents.
Not on purpose.
No, they don't do it at will.
Dog don't fly, Dave.
It's a good point. Let's back that up, Dave. They don't actually.
They can fly.
They can fly.
can.
In an accident. So I told my wife, you probably need to stop taking the dog. And my wife said, this dog goes where I go. And she
Said that from jump.
And she said, this is her one opportunity to get out of this house. I said,
Dog don't care.
I said, well, you could take her on a walk.
A noose around this animal's neck?
Don't
Never.
be ridiculous.
Never. So anyway, I said, you probably, and my wife, I could see it dawned on her, oh no, I'm putting the dog in danger by putting the dog in the car. If there's even a bump up, the dog's going to go forward, could smash into the window. So instead of taking the dog to the school, which I thought would happen, she has ordered and purchased a doggy harness system where the dog is now belted into the back seat like the children. And I said, doesn't that take up where the children are? She goes, what children? She doesn't even care.
The dog's going.
The dog is going on the trip. So now she has spent $39.95 for a doggy harness system,
Sounds comfortable.
which I didn't think she would do. Yes. Mark,
It's kind of like Lecter.
you wanted to comment on the preschool teachers that have now been fired because of what they did in Mississippi. Go ahead.
Yeah, from what I understand, it was another teacher that filmed that because they'd done it before, and she wanted to prove that they were doing it, so she filmed it to show it. But I can tell you this right now. Had that been one of my youngins or if that had been one of my grandkids, that video would have had nothing on Scary. The butt whooping I'd have hung on them, it would have been far worse than that. And I tell you what, I'd have done it and sat down on the bloody floor and waited for the law to get there.
I hear you.
would not
I mean,
tolerate that.
it's rough to see, I'll tell you.
Those are literal blood-curdling screams.
Yeah, they are.
These children are tiny.
They got nowhere to go.
No, and they're
No
in
mom,
that
no
room.
dad, no nothing.
You're right, Mark. It's disturbing. It is disturbing. But when you see it, you're just like, what? I appreciate you clearing that up. One more time on those two. With the ghost face mask.
You being bad. You want me to take you outside?
How about sending your kid back? Even if they're not there, those teachers, sending your kid back to that torture room the next day.
I know. Can you imagine?
I'm not going back.
And they've done it before, apparently. The torture chamber is right.